The one and only Dilip Kumar. Joining me now is a very special guest, someone who had the unique privilege of directing both Dilip Kumar and Amitabh Bachchan in the same film, Shakti. Ramesh Sippy, appreciate your joining us. Thank you very much. I want to ask you at the very outset, the passing away of Dilip Kumar. It is the man who transformed Indian cinema. As Amitabh Bachchan said today, there will be a generation that will be seen as the before Dilip Kumar generation and after Dilip Kumar generation. Your thoughts of just what Dilip Kumar meant to Indian and Hindi cinema?
I can only describe him as simply the most superb actor. He is a legend, and he will always be remembered. All his films will live on, and we will always continue to catch the best of him. He is an unbelievable actor. I had the occasion to do one film with him, and that was so satisfying. It's unbelievable. I would definitely, how do you rate? You can't compare actors, otherwise one would say better than this or better than. He is the best. So, and all India and all Indians, he has fans all over the world. So,
it's interesting that someone who directed
there is no question about it. An era has ended today.
It's interesting, a director who directed both Amitabh and Dilip Kumar in the same film is calling Dilip Kumar the best. Now, he was called, Ramesh Sippy, of course, the tragedy's king. In an interview I heard today, how he then diversified into a variety of roles. He was much more than just a tragedy king. If you look at the sheer range of roles that he performed over several decades, he was a man of many parts. He could be Ram, he could be Shyam.
Yes. That's unfair that the tragedy king is his title. He has done a lot of variety of roles in so many films. Ram or Shyam ho ya, so many different. Even Ganga Jamna, for that matter, is not a completely serious. The end may be tragic, but the rest of the film is a very robust character and with so much of emotion and drama and action. He was brilliant. Mughal-e-Azam, the dialogues, the carriage. An actor is an actor. You can see all through in every frame. So, what I would say is, you can talk so much about him, but today we are feeling this sense of gloom because we have lost one of our best, the best. Dilip Kumar, as Mr. Bachchan said, is an institution. So there can be nothing loss that we have felt today is unbearable.
As I said, you directed both Dilip Saab and Amitabh Bachchan in Shakti. Any memory from directing Dilip Kumar on the sets, off the sets, that you'd like to share with us tonight?
Yes, I do. As I said, Shakti gave me a unique opportunity to bring together Dilip Kumar, Yusuf Sahab, Dilip Sahab, and Amitabh Bachchan together as father and son. And I had an amazing experience of these two actors. And there was a scene where only two great actors can do what they did.
Yes, which we are playing now.
It was Rakhi ji's death scene. And Amitabh comes there, sees the mother, and then moves towards his father, Dilip Saab. He goes there. It was a complete silent scene. He comes there and sits down, looks at his father. Father is look is away from him, he takes his hand and puts it on his father's hand. The chemistry that was conveyed at that moment, Yusuf Saab, Dilip Sahab kept quiet. He continued to stare wherever he was staring at her. And then he turns towards his son, Amitabh. As he turns, the kind of vibes that were forthcoming from both of them, the way they felt, they had a very troubled relationship through the film. This was that moment that brought everything to the fore, their feelings, their hearts full, without anything overdone by anyone. It just brought out so much of the emotion. Sari film ka ras usme tha. Sari relationship. It was quite a moment, and I can't forget it. I hope that, and I wish it was possible to do things like that. They gave as much as they held back. Both of them. Yusuf Saab was so brilliant. I do not know what to say, how words can describe it. Totally brilliant.
The power of silence, which we saw even in his acting. He was intense in whatever he did. One final question, any dialogue or song you're particularly fond of? I'm going to give my favorite at the end, but your favorite of Dilip Saab?
So there were several scenes like that. There was a lighter scene as well, which actually was the first shot I took of the film. It's in the kitchen of his home, and Rakiji is preparing some nashta on the stove, cooking, and he comes, his voice comes from outside, calling for her, and he comes into the kitchen. And while he's talking to her in a very light mood, he keeps eating the nashta that she's making, bits and pieces, and she's trying to stop him from doing that. And but he is so full of himself and he's so happy, and he keeps on eating. And you won't believe it, that for that scene we took, there were retakes for some small reason or the other. Otherwise, they were both brilliant actors. We could have finished in no time at all a scene like that. But almost 60 takes, I think, retakes to get to the perfect thing. He was a perfectionist, I was a perfectionist, and together it took us 64 retakes to come to the final okay shot. By that time, he'd eaten so much that he couldn't have his lunch. Obviously, it was a lovely feeling, but he got it right.
Perfectionist, quite incredible as an actor, and his contribution to Indian cinema will be remembered forever. Thank you very much, Ramesh Sippy, for joining us.